Summary of Lone Survivor by Marcus Luttrell. Marcus Luttrell is a Navy SEAL who is stationed in the Middle East in the year 2005. He and half a dozen of his teammates are about to be sent to Afghanistan for a unique mission. Luttrell is happy to back the war on terror, and he has a lot of respect for President George W. Bush. Like Bush, he is a true Texan, which means he is from Texas. Luttrell thinks about his connection with the American troops as he flies to Afghanistan. He's been a big, tough kid for as long as he can remember, and he's always wanted to join the military. Luttrell was raised in Texas with his twin brother Morgan Luttrell to be strong, sure of himself, and brave. Ex-Marines from the area would show him how to fight and shoot a gun. Luttrell joined the Navy SEALs, which is the hardest part of the service, when he was young. Luttrell had to go to a tough training camp as part of his training. There, he worked harder than he had ever worked before in his life. Inspector Reno Alberto, who is tough but fair, helps Luttrell put on weight and learn how to act on land and in the water. The hardest part of Luttrell's training is the infamous Hell Week, when SEAL trainees work very hard, are not allowed to sleep for long periods of time, and are given little to no food. Luttrell stays strong and makes it through Hell Week while dozens of other trainees give up on their dreams of becoming Marines by ringing a small bell. Luttrell spends the rest of his time in SEAL training learning how to shoot guns and jump out of planes. He also takes classes that teach him how to be a medic for his fellow troops. In early 2002, Luttrell is finally done with SEAL training. In reaction to the terrorist acts on September 11, 2001, which were planned by Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, the American military is already in the Middle East. Luttrell wants payback and is excited to fight the ungodly, evil attackers who planned the attacks. He thinks that the American military needs to be more active to beat Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, a terrorist group that is thought to be working with Al-Qaeda. Luttrell doesn't have any patience for people in the liberal media who say that the U.S. war effort is too cruel and immoral. Luttrell is sent to Bahrain for a short time. There, he sees for himself how many Muslims, especially in the Middle East, are against the United States. In 2005, he is sent to Afghanistan, which is where Luttrell thinks the September 11th strikes were planned. In Afghanistan, Luttrell works closely with his friends Lieutenant Michael Patrick Murphy, or Mikey, Petty Officer Danny Dietz, and Matthew Gene Axelson, or Axe, as well as other members of SEAL Team 10. The team's main jobs are to look for wandering Taliban forces in the Hindu Kush Mountains and to find important Taliban leaders. Operation Redwing is the name of the secret mission that Luttrell, Danny, Mikey, and Axe are sent on. As part of this task, they are sent into the Hindu Kush Mountains to look for Ben Sharmak, a dangerous Taliban boss. Sharmak has killed a lot of American forces and is in charge of a huge army of Taliban men. Because Sharmak is so powerful, Luttrell and his team need to be able to catch him by surprise. Otherwise, they would be way outnumbered in a normal fight. The SEALs land late at night near the town where Sharmak is thought to live and check it out. The next day, they run into a group of Afghan goatherds, which makes the task very hard. If the SEALs let the goatherds go, there's a good chance that the goatherds will either tell Taliban forces about the SEALs or be abused until they say what they know. Luttrell and Mikey don't want to kill innocent people, but Axe wants to do it, and Danny doesn't say what he thinks. The SEALs decide to let the goatherds go free in the end. Within a few hours, dozens of Taliban troops show up in the woods, most likely because the goatherds sent them there. The SEALs are put in a situation that they can't win. They fight back and kill many Taliban troops, but they are so outnumbered that they have no choice but to run away, jumping down the side of the mountain over and over again. During the fight, 3 of Luttrell's fellow SEALs are killed. As the team doctor, Luttrell tries to take care of his guys, but he loses his medical supplies when he falls down the mountain. In a time of trouble, Luttrell asks God for help. Luttrell is able to hold on to his gun as he falls, which is pretty amazing. He is then able to hide from the Taliban troops. A bomb blast hurt Luttrell's leg badly, and he also broke some of his back bones. A lot of blood is leaving his body. He sends out a signal for help and then tries to find water. As Mikey was dying, he sent out a distress signal. In response, the military sends a chopper full of SEALs to help with the escape. The Taliban, however, shoot the chopper down, killing everyone on board. Back in the US, everyone knows that all 4 Marines who were involved in Operation Redwing are dead. This is terrible news for Luttrell's parents and his 2 brothers, Morgan and Scotty. Luttrell crawls up the side of the rock, and he falls down and hurts himself more than once. But he makes it to the top of the mountain and finds a waterfall. He sees that 3 Afghan guys are pointing guns at him while he is drinking. The 3 guys don't want to hurt him, though. They are Pashtun, a group of people who mostly live in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Luttrell says that the Pashtun have an old tradition called luttrell that says they must help people in need, even if it means putting their own lives at risk. The leader of the 3 men is a doctor called Sarawah. He has Luttrell carried back to his town, Sabri, and treats his wounds there. Luttrell is scared, but he knows he has to take the Pashtun up on their offer to help. In Sabri, Luttrell makes friends with Muhammad Gulab, who is the son of the village's wise leader. Luttrell is hidden from the Taliban troops with the help of Gulab and his father. Luttrell finds out later that the Taliban are careful to treat the Pashtun villages with respect because they don't want to lose important friends. Gulab's father goes to an American military camp 2 miles away and tells them that Luttrell is still living. Gulab decides that Luttrell can no longer stay in the town because the Taliban tried to kill him there. He takes Luttrell out of the town and into the mountains, where they meet Ben Sharmak and his troops. Sharmak tells Gulab that if he doesn't give up Luttrell, Sharmak will kill Gulab's whole family. But Gulab still looks out for Luttrell. As Gulab and Luttrell walk through the forest, they run into a group of American Rangers who have been looking for Luttrell after he sent out an emergency signal. The Rangers had been looking for Luttrell for days and had started to think he was dead. They take Luttrell and Gulab out of the town and back to an American military camp. There, Luttrell and Gulab say their goodbyes. It's a sad moment for Luttrell, who doesn't know how to thank Gulab for saving his life. Luttrell gets medical care for his injury on the military camp. He is finally sent back to the United States, where he gets to see his family and friends again. He also starts to come to terms with the fact that he is the only one who survived Operation Redwing. Luttrell goes all over the country to visit the families of his friends who have died and give them his sympathy. Luttrell is happy to have served in the US military, and he's sure that if he could go back in time, he'd join the Navy SEALs again without thinking twice.
About the author. Marcus Luttrell grew up in Texas. When he was 14, he started training to become a Navy SEAL. He joined the Navy in 1999 and was in Iraq when the country was invaded in 2003. In 2005, Luttrell was sent to Afghanistan, where he took part in the famous Operation Redwings, which he calls Redwing. This is the main topic of his book Lone Survivor, which came out in 2007. Luttrell got the Purple Heart and the Navy Cross for how brave he was after the raid. Luttrell started the Lone Survivor Foundation to help wounded American service members, and started hosting the TV show After Action, which is about problems facing veterans.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.